Hey everyone, this video is to introduce our flagship product, the Digital Command Center package. This is the mother lode. This is something that doesn't exist anywhere in America that I've seen available to the public. With this package, you're going to have a server in the cloud, and you're going to have a server tech included. Everything's paid for, where you can make as many websites as you want. You can add to them, edit them, refine them, improve upon them, terminate them. You can change them around, change industries. And the only cost besides whether you're paying by the month or paying by the year, the only cost besides that is simply the domain names you buy. You buy your own domain names and the cPanel hosting, because there is a slight cost to that, but it's cheap. It's cents per month. So say you buy 100 domains to kick it off. You know, over the course of the year, you're probably going to work your way up to 1,000 domains for different projects, for yourself and or others, or a downline, or just different clients. And you want to be able to remote control those websites easily. You want to be able to put them up rapidly. You want to be able to edit them easily, refine them, improve upon them. You want to be able to monitor them, download logs, share the logs with clients, or whatever you want to do. You want to be able to maybe give access to some of them to certain clients. And when you do, you'll go in real quick in the back end and hit a backup button. So if they mess anything up, you'll say, no worries, thanks for telling me, give me a minute. Okay, check, it should be back to normal for you. And there you go. So that kind of power, being able to edit, say, 100 websites or 1,000, and they each have 10, 20, 50, 100 pages or 1,000, especially over the course of time, if guys are paying you to keep creating content for them. The reality check is you get to do all of this without ever needing to log into a single admin panel. You control everything from the outside. These are the tools we use to run our business. So you have access to this at its most efficient with this package. And that's incredible, because if you think about it, it's really not expensive. How much do you really pay per month for a quality website? 100 a month, 150 a month for a quality website? Well, then what would 2,500 a month be? 15 websites, except that in this case, you can run 100, you can run 1,000. The only things that you're paying for are the domain names and then the related cPanel rental. Okay, we'll show you how to set that up. That's so easy. We'll just walk you through it. Anyway, it comes to about $1.50 per month per website. Okay, so once you have this, then the only other cost besides this averages out to about $1.50 per month per website. Okay, that ain't bad. You know, if you got 100 websites, it's $150 a month. That's it, okay, for each month. Websites you don't use, you can terminate. That lowers the cost. And then websites you decide to get, and add in, it's still $1.50 a month while they're active. Okay, let me show you the kind of thing you're getting. I've described it here, and I'm going to make this point real quick. What's the difference between $2,500 a month or $25,000 a year? Well, if you come in with $25,000 a year, we'll set you up with your first 100 domains anyway on the server, that we're renting for you, okay? You don't need to pay for a server on your own. You don't need to set it up. We'll do all that, and it'll happen overnight. It'll be very easy for us to get that ready for you so that you can play. So what's the difference between the two? When you're paying by the month or the year, you get full access to this system here, which gives you 81 remote control tools. Looks like it would be hard, but these tools make great sense when you start using them. You can literally learn all of them in a day. And of course, we'll walk you through what to do. Many of these you won't touch much. Many of these you'll get around to touching as you get used to them. You'll just kind of like use and get used to it. And so in just a few days, you will find this incredibly easy and extremely exciting when you understand the power you have to adjust everything on as many websites as you want in minutes. Pretty much anything you do will only take you minutes. one way or another. And you'll get used to being able to let this run for you overnight while you leave. You just walk out and just let it run. It can run 12, 14, 16 hours generating pages and stuff on a website, for example, while you're gone. And that's the primary thing that would take so long to do, is it's literally writing pages for you. Okay, having said that, the difference between $2,500 a month and $25K down, if you pay $25K down, we'll give you more domains. And not just that, but we'll also give you access to this other tool, which is underlying what this thing does. This, you start with the websites you have and you move forward with them. This is the place where if you have access to this, then the moment you're done buying your domain names into, say, your GoDaddy account or your Network Solutions account, you forward the name servers to your server. We'll tell you what that is. It's easy. Then what? Then you could actually set it all up on your own. If you wanted to install the cPanels on your own, I think it takes 42 seconds to install 100 cPanels according to your simple Excel file that you download, paste in your list of domains, drag a couple things down for the numbering for however many you have, save it and upload it and just wait. It's like 42 seconds and it's finished. And you have 100 cPanels on your server. And then what? Then you're going to want to go into batch installation. And you've got all these themes in your file repository that are accessible here. You'll download the sample file and you'll just fill it in. It's pretty simple. You'll get used to it fast. And you can decide which themes to put on which domains. So you can take a stack of themes and cycle through it, or you can use the same theme a bunch of times and another theme a bunch of times, or you can just randomize. And by doing that, when you upload, guess how long it takes to install each website onto each domain? About 15 seconds. So 25 minutes later, take off and do some shopping, come back. And now all those cPanels that existed after 42 seconds or so, they all of a sudden, all of them, have a live website. Actually, you can visit on Google or Bing or Yahoo. Just go to the address and the website will appear. Now it's going to be all lorem ipsum stuff, basic placeholder, until you do more steps like generate the front pages, generate the other pages, complete with the images, and all that stuff is easy. That's the whole point. It takes about 30 seconds for this system to write each page for you. So you give it a whole list of keywords. Say you give it 100 keywords and 100 domains. And you say, I want you to create 100 like projects, okay? And what'll it do? It'll write 100 pages onto each of those 100 domains. It's 10,000 pages it will write, and it will do it at the rate of about 30 seconds a page. And it will just do the whole thing without you. It doesn't need you sitting at the table. By the way, if you are actually working with several websites like that, and think about what that would have to be, because I'm going to point out one of the other benefits. So say you have 10,000 pages you're going to create all at once, okay? And it's going to take, times 0.5 minutes each. That's 5,000 minutes divided by 60. That's 83 hours, right? Don't we want to get that done faster? We'll give you more access if you're coming in on the annual. We'll give you a stack of other logins that will also run in parallel so that the job, you hit a single button in here that splits your file. There's a split Excel file and that'll split it. You just upload each file in parallel to each of the VIs, the installers. And what does that mean? That means that they will each do their part of the job in parallel for you. So instead of it being 83 hours with one instance, you can have it done in 8 hours. A single workday with 10 instances running in parallel, right? And that's incredible because we're talking about 100 websites with 100 web pages each with images on them. Not only that, and that's if you want images on them, you can always come back and do other things. Not only that, but when you go to create the front ends of the websites, they're automated. And not only that, but if you need professional images to be placed into the websites, it's our job. So you just simply let me know when you're ready and the domains you have at the ready and what the industry is, simple notes about what it's supposed to be. And we will actually go create all those images onto the front pages for you. You know, the big banner images and the service box images down below, because we have automation in the back end where our designers know how to create those images and upload them. We don't leave that to you because we figure that's too hard for you. If you want to use your own images, you obviously can. There are functions in here for zipping stacks of images and uploading and extracting to the websites automatically. Once I use this tool to take 8,800 images, and they were spread through 110 folders for 110 websites, zipped, uploaded with my Excel file saying where everything goes, extract, and it created 88 images per website for me. And it took 7.5 minutes, I think. And this is, we're talking 5 years ago I did that, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago. That is how far along we are, how advanced this tool is. And I don't think anyone, anywhere, has anything like this available to the public for them to use guns for hire, for your own projects, whatever they are. So that's nuts, isn't it? Even if you get 100 domains and you say, well, I want to do projects for 5 different industries, fine. Split the files up. You got 20 domains here with their keywords, 20 other domains with theirs, 20 other domains with theirs. By the way, I want to make this really clear. When you're creating informational websites or any other, you can put anything for the queries and create pages that pitch, pages that are just informational. But what I just want to make this point. Once you have your queries figured out and you can just drag them down in Excel, the only things you have to add to your files really is the domains, the list of domains you want, and the keywords. So if you have 20 domains and 100 keywords, that's all you put in there. 20 domains here, 100 keywords there. And then you can decide to make changes to the tone, any other changes to the queries, and you just basically upload that file and walk away. That's it. That's how you create those 100 pages times 20 websites. And only if you want to do it faster, then you upload it in such a way that you split it so that it comes back in smaller files so that you can upload each section into your different instances that will set up for you automatically if you're on the annual. Okay? That is nuts. So is it possible for you to create 100 perfected pages basically in a workday, like a longer workday, an extended workday, say you put 10 hours in? Yeah, you can have 100 websites with 100 pages each that are finished and ready. And if you have company information for 100 companies, say, or 50, maybe you're going to put the information in twice, each of them gets 2 websites, or affiliates, like 100 affiliates, and you're assigning them each to separate websites. It could be refers, affiliates, franchisees. They could be spread across the nation. There's one file you fill in: company name, phone number, email address, street address, city, state, zip, and anything else you want, video IDs and stuff, whatever you want. And then you upload that one file in here, and it's got the list of domains with it. It knows which domain to put with each row, right? There's going to be this domain, put that information, this domain, that information, that domain, that. So those become variables. Those variables allow those company names, addresses, phones, emails, everything else, video IDs or whatever, to populate across the themes properly on all the pages everywhere they should. So if the phone number should be in the header, and it should also be in the second paragraph, and it should be in that section down there, and you should see it down here, and it should be on the next page and the next page and the next page in the right spots, it will be. That's cool. And then what if later, somebody asks, what if later a company or an affiliate drops out and you want to replace them with somebody else so you can keep the website going with live data? Yeah, you can easily change that one row, upload that, Even if you upload the whole file again and it just overwrites with the same data, except for that one row is updated, then guess what? You updated it. It's immediate, okay? All the tools in here, there are 81, and you're going to use a number of them, and you're so going to love them. And they have tools that fix stuff too that you wouldn't normally see. So any case where there's HTTP in web pages and you need it to be HTTPS, you go to that tool, just put in the domains, hit submit, and it does it for you on all the pages of all those domains. Isn't that nuts? Let's say you want to add coding like Moment CRM, okay? You download the sample file, fill it in with the right ID for the Moment CRM in the settings, if you want live chat on or off, if you want video monitoring on or off, and you with the domains, and you upload it, and guess what? It puts all those right codes on all those right domains. It could be the same code for all the domains or different codes depending on how you're setting that up. Same with other kinds of things. Stack Hunter, put in the domains, then put in whatever your Stack Hunter ID is here, enabler, disable, and hit submit, and it will create Stack Hunter tracking on all of your websites. That's nuts. Whatever you put in the list here, you can do anything. You want to flip the websites off in the beginning when you're working on them, then you activate no index. Put the domains in here, go boom, and Google will not do anything with the website until you come back here and you turn it off. Put in the domains and say, I'm ready. Those domains are ready to go live. Boom. Okay, you might. So if you set this whole thing up on a Monday, assuming you knew what you were doing, of course, you know, you'll be all thumbs in the beginning and you'll have a few questions for me and stuff. Believe me, we've got your back. When you're coming in on our flagship product, we want you to be able to roll so that you can take on your own clientele, so that you can make your own money doing your own stuff. You can rent projects to people. You can make websites. You sell people. You can do anything you want with systems like this. By the way, when you're running this, you have your server and your domains. If you stop running this, then you get to keep your domains on your server. And the only thing you have to do is pay the adjusted down price for the server, okay? If you're going to quit using this for a while, all right? Because you feel like you're done. So for like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you're not going to do anything at all, which frankly is crazy. But you could be in that kind of, if that's going to happen, then yeah, you can definitely put payments on pause or you can stop them. And we'll just simply adjust what you owe for simply the hosting on the server, right? And server tech. Just pitch in for server tech. It's a simple retainer. So obviously not much. Now, having said that, there's everything here. You can generate images, generate HTML, content links, link pages, linking pages. You know what that means? When you put in the domains and hit submit, it creates the previous page and next page links at the bottom of every page so that it lines up all your pages so that they are clickable at the bottom of each page. You can navigate, okay? All you have to do is put the domains in and hit go, and it will do that properly on every page with the browser title being clickable so that Google sees the verbiage, so that the verbiage is assigned to that destination page, right? Really good for SEO. There's everything in here. Fixed menu. When you do this, and it's kind of a misnomer by now, you get the pages. Here's what happens. You're downloading. You say, okay, here's the file I want, here's the stuff I want. And it downloads the domains you asked for. It downloads every single page slug, so every page URL, along with the page name, the browser title, and the meta description columns. So if that was 100 pages times 100 domains, you just say, here are the 100 domains, give me the whole thing. And you get the file with 10,000 of these entries, right? What can you now do? You can do mass, find and replace things. You can update, change, find and replace things, add things in, okay? And then you can re-upload. So you can change page names, you can change browser titles, you can put tokens in there, you can add something to the end of it. Like call now, phone number, so that it shows up in the title on Google, when people do a search on Google. Meta descriptions, you can make sure, you can see which are too short, which are too long, stuff like that. Yeah, there's so many things you can do. Sometimes the meta descriptions, when they get created, they have double quotes inside of them, and they shouldn't. And so you can change those to single quotes just by highlighting the whole column and saying change all double quotes to single quotes, go. It's done. Maybe that was the only change you wanted to make. And maybe you want to make some other changes or not, but then you just save the file and you upload it. And this thing takes care of all 10,000 of those pages in a couple of minutes. They're totally updated. Nobody offers you that. Can you do that with 100 WordPress sites? Can you do this kind of thing I'm talking about? Fix all the HTTP issues in the source code to HTTPS for any and all the pages you made on your WordPress site times 100 WordPress sites? No. What about Wix or Joomla or Weebly or Foursquare? No. That's the point. These are incredibly cool tools, and they allow you to do everything cheaper for websites you make for your clients, your downline, your affiliates, your franchisees. This is all extremely powerful stuff. Now, I'm not going through every single one of these functions, right? But they're all there. You can interlink content. That's amazing. It's a simple thing with the file. And when you do it, it will look at all the browser titles of those 100 pages on each site. And it will look at the page names. And it will look for matches in the paragraphs on all 100 pages. And anywhere it finds a match here to a page title over there, it can highlight that to that page. Highlight that to that page. Highlight that to that page. So it creates all of these links in your paragraphs that go to those pages. Beautiful. It's like news articles. When you read a news article and you see all the highlighted links, they're going to the other pages so you can continue your navigation and read. Google loves that stuff. You do it at the press of a button for 100 websites. You don't do it manually by looking at lists and then reading paragraphs and trying to highlight something and copy it over there. You don't need to. You just put in the domains you want it done on all the pages for, and it does it. Not only that, but it puts caps per page, so it doesn't do anything funny. Say you got the same verbiage appear 10 times on the page. Should it hyperlink it 10 times pointing at that page? Nah, once should do. So the system will know to only do one such link on a page, and then if it sees another match that's the same, it'll ignore it. So if it sees another match that's different, it can do that once. Okay? And it's got a limit of how many times it can do it on the pages so that it never exceeds what Google expects. Okay? We have that for literally everything. Pages detail. Talk about how cool. With this, you put in the domains, hit submit, and it downloads, and it tells you 3 things about all the pages, because again, it gives you the whole list of all the pages. It tells you the word count per page, so you can even sort to see which are the shortest word counts, which are the longest word counts. The shortest ones, we can rerun them back through here to generate more content, have that content append to the pages with a new query that adds more meat to the page. So you take all your short pages anytime you want and you rerun them through, but don't overwrite them. The writing was fine, it's just not a lot. So add some more, append. Okay? And it'll happen automatically. All right? And that's insanely cool. In other words, you can control everything. You can download, I think I mentioned, all the monitoring functionality. So you can download lists that show on each of the domains who is scrolling how far down on each page. So basically it's giving you averages. It's going to tell you the average scroll down on every page, and it's going to give you the average, number of clicks on the things you cared about, because in the website you set goals on the pages, and you can do that through here. And because of that, you can make sure that the pages do what they're supposed to do. There's more. There's insert ads. You're going to put the domains you want, stick in, you're going to upload the banner images, put the links where those banner images should cycle through to, so each image can go with a link. And you can decide if that should go in the top level pages or only the sitemap level pages. It's up to you. And you can even decide if you want to put a heading above the image, then here's the image, say. And then if you want, have some kind of paragraph below the image. And that way, you're drawing attention to the image, right? So you've got a cool heading that talks about the image, and then you've got a follow-up that just wraps up the point about why you should click it. And it'll take you to whatever the link is, okay? So you get to put ads into all those informational pages you create on all those websites. Isn't this nuts? This is like the idea of those guys who built those sites like the Oxbow and Oxbow Tavern sites and all of the other related sites, and we discovered that it's the same process on the same servers. It's the same group of guys. And they're doing it for the same keyword stack so they can show up next to each other on those front pages for as many as possible. You're able to do that with this. You can do the legitimate form of the PBN with this and expand upon it. You can update all the Roto-Rooter sites across the nation with this and get them new websites. You could do that for law. You could do that. It could be anything. It could be DUI, accident attorneys. It could be alcohol, drug, and rehab. It could be carpet cleaning and replacement. It could be roofing. It could be house painting. It could be landscaping, plumbing. You can have MLM programs. You can have fitness workout routines. You can have get these great drinks. You can have pages for chiropractors and psychiatrists and teen psychiatrists and whatever you want to do. You can make pages on websites for pets, for kids. You can build all these websites up at this with really no limits. Remember when we were pointing out like the table of contents? Table of contents. You do it here. You just put in the domain names. Decide if it should also go on the menu pages or not, or on the non-menu. Hit submit, and it'll create those shortcuts to the H2s and H3s down below on every single page that matches in those little boxes that can be collapsed or not. Okay, so everything is push button, cross-linking. When you want to create backlinks, you got a bunch of websites. So you can go through a process when you're cross-linking. Oh, they updated this. I got to actually figure this one out. I haven't done this in a while. Yes. You can decide how many links you want per page, so that you never spam. And you can say, I'm going to have these domains, however many you want. It could be 10 linking to 90. It could be 90 linking through 10. How do you want to do it? 20 through 20. What if you want to add a layer? What if you want to do tiered backlinking? Right there. So what's it going to do? It's going to look at the wording in the page, or the browser titles and the page names up here, and it's going to look for matches in the paragraphs down here. And wherever it can find matches on any of the pages of these sites, like that could be 20 sites times 100 pages each, it's 2,000 pages. It'll look through 2,000 pages for any matches that makes sense to anything up here. And it will just start creating links through to them. Realize how random that is. That does not mean that each of these domains is going to link to each of those domains. They won't. There's a cap on the links per page and stuff. And so it could easily come out that some of these domains link to some of these, others link to others, and maybe one or two don't even have a match at all to any of them. Guess what? That is perfect because Google sees no footprint. You can't call that wrong. There's nothing the matter with that at all. Guess what then? These domains, same thing now. We're going to take a look at all the page titles and browser titles and page names here and go looking through all the paragraphs of all those thousands of pages or whatever here, and wherever there are matches, we'll create them. So it's not even the same page to the same page. It's not like page 3 links to page 3 links to page 3. No, it could be like page 5 links to page 3, links to page 1, but then any other links are different domains to different domains. I mean, it's as random as the reality of the verbiage across all those websites. And again, with limits. Okay? And that way, You don't spam anything. You don't create a bad footprint, but you create deep page linking in a tiered linking process. And it's at the press of a button, and it will give you a report you can download. And the value of that is you can show the report to the clients, and you know yourself how the linking is broken down. And not just that, but like I say, up here where we have this pages detail, when you get the pages detail, it will tell you the word counts per page, the number of internal links per page, how many links are pointing to other pages of the same site. So you can see if it's like 111,000, and you're like, wait a minute, let me rerun these because they don't have enough links, And it also tells you how many external links, crosslinks per page. So you can just make sure none have too many, but that you also don't have tons and tons of pages that have 0 when you're expecting a little bit more. Okay. And if you need to create a page for a new keyword to backlink, think about the value. When you do it the way that we're talking about now with the cross-linking, okay? Hello. Control F. Gotta put like a search box in here. And when you're doing all this cross-linking routine, and you can add as many layers as you want. So if you've got 100 websites and you want to go 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, or whatever, you can do it. So what's the point? The point is, say I want to create a new page for Corvette C6 Racing t-shirt, black. Fine. I'm going to write that page on all 100 of those websites is a new page. I'm going to literally generate articles where I create the one page. It's in here somewhere. I create the one page on each of those websites about that topic. Then what? Then I run this, and it will just naturally create backlinks through that stack as it sees fit. And that's beautiful. And even if some of this is just broken on that keyword, what do I really care? I don't want a footprint. I want reality. Okay? So that's perfect because my report will tell me how well I did. And I can make adjustments if I need. You can go further. There is manual linking. You can ensure that certain words link to a certain website, and that's fine because you're allowed to. In SEO, when you have a link that goes to another website, it can say anything in the paragraph. It could be like random wording if you wanted, and it can point there, and that will count. It will not count as much as a more useful keyword or a direct reference to the domain name, but it will still count. Okay, so you can manually use any verbiage you want to link anywhere and say run that through the sites. So it's random. It's which pages have that kind of a related link, and what page does it point at. But my point is, you can ensure to get enough linking for the client, and you can show it on the report. Keyword linking is done with tokens in the system. You want to search pages? There were times that we put up pages that were intended for something. Let's say air intake for a carburetor for a car. But sometimes GPT would reverse and write a few pages about intake air. So it would write about first aid. So we had some of the pages on the website were completely wrong. But we recognized that this could happen. So guess what? I could say, here are the domains. I want to search for intake air and submit. And it will literally give me a list of all the pages that were done wrong. So I can take those pages and rerun them with a slightly improved query to make sure they get done right. Okay? We're monitoring, tracking, and updating anything we want. There's a button in here called Fix Content. This is amazing. Put in the domains you want, and whether you're making a change to the internal pages or the front page, which is the toss effectively, and which kind of websites, don't worry, you'll understand this. And what are we doing? Are we fixing content? Are we removing a bunch of empty spaces? And guess what? You put in whatever was there before, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. You realize that tag is there, and we're going to put a break and say replace it with the global variable. So and then you go to the next line and say, while you're at it, make this other change too, and so you can make a bunch of changes that you saw when you randomly check through website pages and you're like, oh, that's a repeating pattern. And you go submit, and it will literally go through all the domains, through all the pages, and anytime it sees this, it will suddenly fix it with the token so that the page displays the right phone number for that company, because you uploaded that file earlier with the list of the companies with their tokens, right? How's that for nuts? Enable disable sections. If there are certain sections, sections on a web page, when you scroll down, you see sections. Maybe there's a section you don't want after all that showed up on the websites, and it's like the Our Client section. Well, sections, they have formal names, so you can download the file, and it'll let you turn off sections on the websites that just don't belong there. You don't have anything good to put in them. And so you just upload the list, and bam, it flips them all off in minutes. There is everything here. There's getting rid of error logs and zip files, temporary files, all this kind of thing, so that you can clean up room on your server if you find that somehow you're just leaving a bunch of stuff behind that you don't need anymore. And so or you're tracking too much dead space logs. So you just run the domains through here and boom, it deletes it all. And so you can recover gigabytes on your server in minutes. Okay? Everything is here. Obviously, when you're getting a package this big, you've got our support. You need something shown to you, we'll get on the phone with you or do a Zoom meeting with you, or we'll do a recording and send it to you, or a list of steps and send it to you. We'll show you how to do it. If you need us to do something because you don't know how, we'll just stop and do it, because all of the automation makes this easy. Okay? Everything is easy. You want to generate blogs. You want to auto-generate blogs all night long on all your websites. And then you can go back when they're done and run that table of contents for the blogs and run that link pages for the previous next, because it'll do that also with your blogs. Okay? And so what's the point? You get all this stuff done like that. Anybody else doing this work will cost clients a tremendous amount of money by comparison. Most guys in our industry charge $150 an hour for short-term work, $100 an hour for more hours of longer-term work if you're hiring in the US. And so it's just a question of, what do you need from guys in the US? What do you need from guys overseas? But most companies here that want to hold people accountable, they do have departments where they hire guys in the US. Many of my clients, most of my clients are in the US. Having said that, the point is we can do everything. Okay? Batch articles file. This is amazing how this works. You put in, I'm telling you can put in your domains. Let's say you're going to create a bunch of informational pages. You've already created the base pages for the websites to sell stuff. Now you just need a lot of filler pages. Like 95% of the pages on a website should just be training topics. Okay? You can insert ads into those pages, but those training topics are low-hanging fruit keyword searches people do. So you can get a lot of people who are just looking for information to land on your page. And while they're reading your page, there are the ads and other stuff. And so here, you can literally put your domains here and your keywords there for all those informational topics or questions. If you got a list of questions, and hit go. And this thing will do all of that writing for you on all those websites for you, just back to back all night long. This is that process where I say, if you actually have a lot of websites, ask us nicely and we'll get you more instances like this that you can run in parallel to save you a tremendous amount of time. There is no need for you to have to spend 83 hours on something when you can let it run for 8.3 hours and be done. Okay? No need for you to waste the time. Set the welcome pop-ups. How's that for nuts? You can actually turn on the welcome pop-ups and what they're supposed to say. And if they have tokens in them for the right phone number for every company, in a single motion, and flip them on the websites. That way, when the website loads, a moment later you see the pop-up with whatever you had on it. What if you didn't want to do it as a welcome pop-up? You wanted to do it as an exit pop-up. Like when they're done reading the page and they go to leave, now the pop-up should happen. Aha, you can do that here. So you could use 50% of your websites with a welcome pop-up, the other 50% with an exit pop-up, see which performs better. Isn't that neat? Literally, you can do that kind of thing. There's a call to action bar. You can set that on the websites so that there's this scrolling bar. When people are reading, that bar just sits there all the time in the same place, suggesting, you know, for professional plumbing services in your area, call now or whatever. So you can do that for leads or whatever. And it can be through a forwarding phone number or whatever. And you can have that on all your informational pages of whichever websites you want. And the beauty is you don't have to treat all the websites equally. If some are specific to a client and they don't want some of that stuff there, you don't need to include those sites in those steps. But other steps that they will benefit from, yeah, you can include it. Okay? You know what else you can do? You can submit sitemaps. You know how? Put in the list of domains and hit submit, and it will tell Google, Bing, Yahoo, and Ask what happened on your website. It's like, hey, check it out. We made a change to our sitemaps. Sitemap.xml files that are automatically created on your websites for you. Everything is automatically generated on your website. Your robots.txt file is handled for you. Your sitemap.html, sitemap.xml, all that stuff is done. You know, these websites also have integrations like payment options. You can flip them on. You can run PayPal. You can run Stripe. Stripe's really versatile. It allows you to do all kinds of things. And they're integrated into these websites, and you can flip them on or off through here and decide the settings. Decide whether the payments are one-time or subscription, what the amounts are, the titles, the descriptions, and you can have it show up on the sites. Then you can also do that with other stuff. You can do it with newsletters. We got what is it for the newsletters? There's MailChimp, there's ActiveCampaign, there's GetResponse, there's some others, and Salesforce. And so you just plug in the API information, hit go, and it'll turn all those newsletters on. Okay? And what's beautiful is you can run goals onto the pages, and so then the pages will watch how people act, and the pages will rearrange the sections to improve how whether people are hitting those goals that you set in the pages. So your websites actually work on their own to improve your ROI for you or your clients, right? That's what this is all about. I don't know anyone in the nation that has website functionality like this, where you can do this with all the templates you want. You know what templates are included in this package anyway? Go to Website Installer. And it's literally all the templates, okay? We even have some more in there that just aren't really available in this because they're just specialized, but there are more templates. So like everything you see here, doesn't matter what the images are. Of course not. You can take any website that has images for any industry, and by changing the verbiage and letting us change the images for you, then guess what? We can completely change the industry and no one will know. You know what I see when I see, okay, like this. If I'm just staring at this website right here, you know what I see? A website for alcohol, drug, and rehab is equally possible. If I stare at this website right here, I'm just opening them. This could be a website for a DUI attorney. Okay? I mean it. That's how easy it is. It would take me no time to make the changes I need. Minutes. Yeah, basically. If I were to go into the website and do it minutes, but if I line up the whole job and do it across the stack, there's the economy of scale. Control F. There's even a setting for colors. Replace colors. So the domains you want, the type they are, and just decide old color, replace it with a new color, so that you can actually auto change the colors. Wherever they're purple, you want them to be blue, you can do that. Wherever it was yellow, you want it to be green, it'll just do that. So it'll do it uniformly, which means if you do a set of palette colors, one above the next, the commands, it'll change your old palette to your new palette. So if you were going from fire and flooding to clean up the spill in the basement, you know, flooding, I'm sorry, fire to flooding, or fire to plumbing, you need red colors, you need blue colors. You can actually automatically change them wherever they exist. Wherever the reds exist in the stack of domains you're using here, it'll change them to your blue of choice, you know, and then put in a smaller stack to change your blue of choice to a lighter blue so that you've got half the darker blue, half the lighter blue. You know, you can do it however you want, but it's done in minutes across tons of sites. Everywhere where the colors exist that you're matching. Isn't that neat? That's what I mean by total control. You can control everything and you don't have to log into an admin panel to do it. Inserting images, inserting ads, doing whatever you want to do is all done through here. There's even SQL queries. If you get to a point where, say, I'll give you a simple example. Do I have it here? Thought I had something for it. Yeah, query for a menu fix. Watch this. This is the weirdest thing in case you don't know. I could put my list of domains up here and then paste this in here after I create a bunch of pages. Here's what I want to say. Maybe I created 100 pages, but I said all of them should not show up in the menu because I don't want 100 links in the menu. Okay, that'd be weird. 100 links showing up next to each other in the menu would be weird. But you can do drop downs automatically when you generate articles. So still, let's say I create the 100 pages and then I go back and I say, well, now I don't have any links in the menu. I want 5 links in the menu. Then guess what? You can do that. Set it to show the pages in the menu, which is the default. That's why it's 0. Where it's saying not to, which is 2, whenever the page ID is somewhere between 1 and 5. So just by pasting this in there, and I can mark it with an easy title for you, what this does is take the first 5 pages that are in your sitemap and turn them into menu links for you. How's that? Does it have to be 1 and 5? No, I mean, it could be like pages 10 and 15 or 14 or 16, you know, whatever you want, right? Then say you get too many pages in the menu and it takes some out. That's what this does, the opposite. Update the content, set the URL type back to 2, where it is 0 right now, for any case where the page ID is not between the ones you want, like 10 and 14. So that's what you would do. When not between 10 and 14. All right? That way it'll change all those other pages back to non-menu links. They'll just be in the sitemap. They'll be approachable through the previous and next. They'll be clickable through inner links that are just in the paragraphs and point to those pages, right? But they won't actually be in the top menu, gumming it up, okay? So you can do that on any stack of domains where the menu's running over the top, say, or something. So you can run queries, you know, and that really opens you up to anything. If you know how to look up a SQL query, then you could run anything. You could say, you know, change the phone number or wherever the phone number exists here if you wanted to. It's just we made it easier to do with fixed content. Fixed content, by the way, works for coding as well. And then that way, if you need to make a change that includes some kind of code, or like I said, there's a drop down for remove extra spaces, things like that. But if you do, and you just want to get rid of the excess code or something like that, or change the color on the code, then you can do it. So yeah, I mean, some of the functions overlap wonderfully just because naturally we've covered everything that you can do. And so it's beautiful. You know how when you create the front page of a website, let me point this out. You scroll down, okay? You've got links that say click here and go somewhere, right? And maybe another link, click here, click here, click here kind of thing. I see I haven't touched this website in a long time. I need to update it. But all those links, you know how long it takes for us to match these to existing pages in the system once we create them to the system? One push of one button. That's called fixed toss links. Control F. Fix, toss, links. Put in the domains. Decide what domains to not include in the click here's, like your disclaimer, your privacy, or the same page, your index page. And then hit submit, and guess what? It will create all the, everywhere where there's a click here, it won't be a broken button. It'll literally point to one of the inner pages like it should on your home pages. And it does this for all your domains for you immediately. There is nothing you need to log into the admin panels to do. It's total control all the time. Total maintenance and update is easy. Anytime you want to come back and just add some more content to pages, add some more images, change out banner links, do something else, try some new browser titles here and there, put the end of the browser title for the company name or the phone number. Everything you want to do across all those websites is completely simple because you use these tools. And if you get this as well, as if you're paying for the whole thing up front and you're doing the installations and the backups of the websites and everything else through this system here that we've been talking about here, then you actually are able just to do all this stuff in here. You get to install the cPanels in seconds and then install the templates in like 25 minutes per 100 websites. And you actually get to bulk create emails in the systems. Just download the sample file, open it, you see what you're doing. And you can do bulk email forwarders. And it's the same thing now, where you can create for all those websites, you can create the support@domain.com, support@domain.2.com, admin@domain3.com, whatever you want, right? tech@domain4.com. You can just create them. So you can create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails per domain, and then you can forward those emails to wherever you want them to go. So if you want support to go to Teresa, because she handles support, and you want tech to go to Tony, because he handles tech, and you want, admin to go to Bob, because he's running the admin, then you can auto-generate all that control and functionality in this tool, okay? So as much as this stuff looks complex on the outside, and I grant that it does, you can do it in your sleep. You do not have to be technical to do this. If you're at all familiar with Excel, if you can follow our instructions when we show you how to do things in Excel, there is nothing crazy complex anymore to do, okay? So it is easy. And being able to run so many websites in this way, I don't know where you're ever going to see that anywhere else. Okay, I hope you find this interesting. Give me a call. We can talk about your projects, talk about whether this is a good fit for you or how you can use it if you're an investor trying to figure out how you should use it. But this tool right here will set you free because for the flat cost, you can make so many websites that you can rent advertising space on, or you can rent the websites out, or you can sell the websites off, and then still charge them a retainer by the month, like $500 a month per website to just walk in and do SEO work on those. You'll have incredible access to everything you need to be able to pull this off. And you'll get all the bulk tools that we have too for, being able to see all this stuff happen. All right.